So let us continue with the same chapter, the last lesson, part 4. So French is the most beautiful language in the world, the clearest, the most logical. That we must guard it, we must safeguard it among us and never forget it. So I am Hamal here speaking about the importance of the mother tongue, the language. Because when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. So Hamal is trying to tell the importance of language, that until you know your language, until you hold fast to your language, you cannot be made slave, you cannot be kept in a prison, because your language will be a key to that prison. After this, M. Hamel opened a grammar and read us our lesson. I was amazed. That day I was surprised. I was surprised that I had understood everything so well. All he said seemed so easy. So easy. I think too that I had never listened so carefully. But I realized that it is only because earlier I was not giving importance and I was not listening carefully. And today when I listened everything carefully, I understood. And also I found that he had explained it very nicely, with so much of patience. It seemed almost as if the poor man wanted to give us all he knew. Before going away, he wanted to share everything, all the knowledge he had, and to put it all into our head at one stroke. After the grammar, we had a lesson in writing. That day, M. Hamel had new copies for us, written in a beautiful round hand. Round hand means handwriting. And now you can see at the right hand side there are some questions. What was French expected to be prepared with for the school that day? Yes, you're right, participles. What did French notice that was unusual about the school that day? Yes, that day everyone was still quiet and the classmates in the places sitting. And the third question is what had been put up on the bulletin board? So the answer is notices by Germans. Now let us continue. France Alsace, they looked like little flags. Those new copies which were distributed were looking like little flags floating everywhere in the schoolroom, hung from the rod at the top of our desk. You ought to have seen how everyone set to work and how quiet it was. The only sound was the scratching of the pens over the paper. So that day everyone was doing his work silently. Once seen one beetle, means there was one insect with wings flying, but nobody paid any attention to them, not even the littlest ones. Mostly the small kids, they are afraid, but that day no one. Who worked right on tracing their fish hooks as if that was French too. Means for their fish hooks also is compared with the language French. They were giving attention to their work. On the roof the pigeons cooed very low, and at that point I thought to myself, will they make them sing in German? This is a very important line. Here it means Teaching the pigeons to sing in German indicates how far the Germans would go